Hi Taurus, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your general energies for the 15th of November to the end of November 30th. So I have to set up a little different because I just want to pull a bunch of cards. I'm just going to pull today, so I need the space. So hope you guys are doing great today. We have Venus entering Scorpio as well as the Sun entering Sagittarius on the 21st of this month. So Venus in Scorpio is going to be hanging out there until the 15th of December, and very deeply passionate relations are the focus right now. Superficial stuff is not going to fly right now because we're all going to be really looking for that body and soul contact with somebody special. If you're in that space, very intense, very extreme, unforgettable kind of energy is what we're looking for. So if you're not in the the energy of having a relationship or wanting a relationship, Venus is a lot more than love. It has to do with money. It has to do with self-respect and self-awareness and self-care, right? So we can be very focused on how do we elevate ourselves in these areas. Very emotional time, very passionate, very intense energy as well. Our relationship to either an intimate energy or money, or what it means to feel really good about ourselves is going to be very important to us right now, to the point of almost consuming us. But we're going to be happy to feel that way. It's not going to actually feel uncomfortable, and our drive is towards intense closeness. But the thing is, having blind faith right now is very, very hard for us, especially those in relationship. So it's like this fear of being too vulnerable or giving up our power to others. It's very, very strong right now. The Scorpio is very much an all or nothing kind of energies. I always say wherever we have Scorpio in our chart, that's where our obsessions hang out, right? So it can end up being a little bit of a roller coaster ride, but you're just not going to want to deal with anything superficial, middle of the road kind of thing. It's like you want to elevate yourself in that relationship, feel that closeness, elevate that, money, feel really good about yourself once and for all. You're just tired of not feeling just better about yourself and life, right? So that's definitely going to be happening. And then on the same day, we have the Sun entering into Sagittarius, inner child. We have the Sun entering into Sag. So that Sag energy is that ninth house. Ninth house is, he's the landlord of the ninth house, ruled by Jupiter. And with the Sun in Sag, our focus kind of goes, because the Sun has been in Scorpio. Now it's going to go from being focused on, even though we have the Venus energy there, still focusing us on relationship. Our Sun, our main focus, right? The core of our energy is going to be focused on reaching out kind of to the rest of the world, more on a macro level, with something larger than ourselves. Okay, this is a fiery sign. It's a mutable energy. Oh, well, we need to take two. Two places came out. Be flexible, no place like home. Very nice. So yeah, so this is a mutable energy. But so we can take steps to increase our understanding of the world around us, the awareness of the world around us, the people, what's going on in the world, right? We're just more able to muster up the courage to expand our horizon or path and just branch out into new ways of thinking that maybe we have been a little resistant to up until now, right? We have the scythe, we have the stars. Scythe always means cutting something out. Okay, let me just pull this deck and then we'll read this lay down. But we'll definitely be able to gain more confidence and optimism, guys, during this time by focusing on the big picture as we move away from a focus on the details and the minutia of something. We may be prone to overdoing our expectations. We do have the opportunity, though, to nurture some really beautiful faith, some solid hope, and some solid, positive vision, more positive vision for the future under this energy, right? That's what's being offered to us. And then on the 28th, woohoo, we have Neptune turning direct, finally. I always say Neptune's like trying to look at life through a thick fog. So he's finally turning direct, the 28th. Give him a couple of weeks to stretch out his muscles and stuff. And then on the 30th, I don't want to go too much into what's going on the 30th because I'm going to make a separate video on that. But we do have this full moon lunar eclipse happening with Sag and Gem. Very potent, powerful lunation, no question. It's going to be simulating some turning points and epiphanies. We're all going to be feeling like we're sort of in the middle of a story, right? The story started kind of like at the beginning of June, and it's going to go until like next December of 2021. And we're in the middle of it because this one is the second eclipse along this axis. But I'm going to make a separate video on that. So we have inner child. So the focus here for the second half of November is really going to be focusing on your inner child. And what does that mean? You know, the inner child is that space inside of us that a lot of times ends up creating a lot of issues for us, right? Where these are unhealed things from our past that we haven't fully healed, haven't fully looked at. And a lot of times, though, it's actually tapping into what we wanted to do and be at one point, and that way it's very, very positive. What did you want to do when like you didn't understand how crazy life is as a grown-up, and you didn't understand how expensive everything is, and you didn't understand all of that? What did you want to do? Really getting in touch with that. So for some of you, it's going to mean that. For others of you, it's going to mean really being forced very much to look at why you do what you do and where you might be exercising some self-sabotaging behaviors in your life, and really looking deep at why you do that. And guys, this is a great last-ditch energy to do it because we still have Chiron is retrograde in Aries until the middle of December, so this is a great time for healing. So the two that popped out together are No Place Like Home and Flexible. So when we have No Place Like Home, this truly is the idea of no place like home, feeling at home within your own skin. What does that even mean for you? There's nothing better than that, than feeling really good and confident in your own skin. Ask yourself some questions. How am I feeling about me? How am I feeling about how I approach life? Do I need to be more flexible in a certain area of my life? Does somebody else need to be more flexible? Because when we get the No Place Like Home energy, it's all about recognizing what that even means for you. What do you require to feel, safe, secure, happy within your own skin? Like, and within something. It's like within yourself, but within a larger picture. You could be in the most beautiful environment with the nicest people, but if you feel crappy about yourself, it doesn't matter, right? So it's about really asking those big questions. What is it that can incite you feeling even better about yourself, your station? You might feel amazing about yourself, but you might be like, I don't know, like relationships just don't seem to work out the way I like, or I know I'm a really good person, I'm very smart, but I can't seem to find a job that I really want. And so you may need to tap into that inner child. I know a lot of Taurus energies have been struggling with career, so it really might be this final push at like, what do you really want? And just going after that and understanding that it might not be a straight road. There might be some bends and turns, so you really do need to exercise some flexibility, which, for the bull gang is not the easiest thing, right? We know. Yeah. Okay. But something's got to end. And we always, in Lenormand, we always want to look at where either the eyes are looking or, whatever feature is in the card. We always want to look at where the point is indicating, like with the scythe. In this energy, right? In the other deck, it's going in the other direction. This one is you need to cut something out from the past. Because this is the first card and it's pointing at the past. And when you do that, it's going to bring you some really good blessings with the star. Absolutely. Now we have the snake energy and we have the key. So the snake is a duplicitous energy. The snake is kind of like, yes, I swear, I mean this. I love you. You can have this job. It could be very a gaslighting, deflecting, manipulative kind of energy. It could certainly be that. So you may be dealing with an energy like that you need to very much get in contact with within yourself. There's something that you're not seeing that you need to see. The key is about there is an element of something that you need to recognize. So you're going to use the key to unlock this information and be really honest with yourself. or are you going to keep it inside this like kind of gilded cage within yourself? It's because it's a lot easier sometimes to keep things, to not look at things. It's a lot easier to do that. Way easier. But you have to look at the snake energy and where is it playing a role? Is it another energy? Is this a person? Or is this you to yourself? Is this you playing games to yourself? You know, because we can do that, right? We can mess with our own heads probably better than anyone else can, right? So there is this need to actually release something that's really been very deeply troubling you. It's been eating away at you. And it's like you've been wearing this mask that you don't want to wear anymore. You don't want to wear it anymore. The mask is not always a malicious energy. You know, people get very, very upset. Like, I'm not fake. Fake means, no. You know, sometimes we wear masks because we're not totally sure about how we feel about a person, a situation, something in our life. So rather than wearing our heart on our sleeve when we really don't have our ducks in a row mentally and we're not even sure how we feel, we put the face on to act as if, just to kind of get through the day. And that's kind of like what this is. Right? But it's eating away at you. And in order for you to really feel very anchored and secure in your life, you need to try a different strategy, a different approach to whatever it is. And you're going to know how this is resonating with you, whether it's for your career, a job. It could be for both. It could be within a family unit. You need to try different strategies. The labyrinth energy is like, oh, let me try this way. Oh, no, that didn't work. Let me try this way. Oh, no, that didn't work. But it is about you ultimately getting there and recognizing that the path that you went on, every single row that you tried, you needed to go down in order to get to where you ultimately would end up, which is all good. It's this recognition that nothing has been a waste of time, that it's all been very necessary, a very necessary part of your path. So we have the snake energy and the mice energy, which I think needs to be the focus takeaway from here. And these are these ideas that need to be released, right? In order for you to get whatever is going on, though, there's definitely something that needs to be cut out from your past. You need to be really honest about a person, a situation, or where you might be telling yourself some sort of false narrative. And it's time to just be the absolute most authentic person, version of yourself that you could be. So I do like the no place like home and the inner child, because I feel like there's some good solid self-reflection going on here, which is really great. I think is important here. But some of you may be realizing something about somebody you were in a relationship with, or somebody that you worked with, with or for, you know, however it will come out for you. Oh, you know what? I grabbed those first, so let me go with those. Do the chakra cards. So I'm just going to pull past, present, outcome, and then I'm going to pull for your blocks, and then I'm going to pull spread for somebody that you're dealing with, an energy that you're dealing with. So it could be somebody in relationship, a family connection, somebody at work, however it comes out. Okay, leaving something. Walking away from something because it wasn't working. I wasn't going to give you what you wanted. Okay, let's see your blocks. A block is judgment. Okay. So we have the high priestess energy starting out. It's a moon energy, right? So this is about insights, secrets, keeping secrets, thinking things, feeling things inside, but not fully. You might not have everything fully cultivated in your mind, right? This is in the recent past, but not fully sharing anything. Now, again, you know, as I always say this, guys, Taurus, this is not only for you. So whenever we get anything that has to do with the moon, keep in mind that the moon rules the fourth house, which is Cancer. And what else? What do we call Cancer? What do we call the fourth house besides the house of home and roots and nurturing? It's also the house of the stories that we tell ourselves. Which is why I always say in the moon energy, there's no one in our emotional space. There's no one inside of us to check us, to make sure we're not telling ourselves any sort of false narrative, to make sure that we're being really honest, right? But the idea here is, you know, navigating the best that you can, tapping into your intuition. The idea here is to try to be clear and honest with yourself. at the same time, keep it to yourself for a minute, right? And this is in the recent past. So I feel like you were keeping things to yourself, Taurus. There was something that was weighing on you that you were very much keeping to yourself. Now we have this working with the Knight of Cups energy. And the Knight of Cups energy is princess or princess, prince or princess charming coming in, proposing something. So if it has to do with obviously romance, any sort of connection, that could be a proposal, asking out, will you marry me, whatever. But this also has to do with the proposal of anything that would impact you positively emotionally. So this could certainly be somebody coming in saying, hey, you want to work with me? You want to work here? Anything like that. But there is this offer being proposed in the recent past. And we have this working with the Seven of Cups energy, which does indicate somebody having commitment issues, too many choices. So this could be maybe you had a hard time committing to a job, you had too many choices, or there were too many things floating around you had as to what you can see yourself doing. Or maybe the opportunities weren't all there, but maybe you were having a hard time saying, yeah, this is for sure what I want to end up doing. Obviously for relationship, this could indicate you dealing with somebody who has commitment issues at this time, Taurus. Where you may think they have choices, they may or may not, it doesn't really matter, but it's this lack of commitment here, you know. This is a Venus and Scorpio energy. Scorpio's modern ruler is Pluto, which is about transformation, right? So there was, for you in your recent past, there was a lot of focus on this transformation, right? Having to do with some area of your life that really deeply mattered to you. Now, it's not only about relationship, right? I mean, we care about our jobs, right? We care about our family. We care, you know, anyone who's in that heart space with us. And then we have the world reverse here, which does indicate a lot of delays. So there's the world reverse and the sun reverse, even they're still very positive, even though they're in the reverse. It just means not yet. This means delay. As something's unfinished. Something's unfinished. So if somebody came in and offered you something having to do with a relationship, a job, something like that, but in the moment it was not working out for whatever reason, maybe you guys broke up, maybe the job was delayed, whatever the case is, it does indicate that there's some sort of unfinished business going on here for sure. Now in the present, right now we have the Eight of Cups energy, which is a walking away, right? Eight of Cups is a Saturn in Pisces. Something became too toxic, too heavy to end up staying in. So this could have been you walking away from something, somebody walking away from you, whatever the case is, right? But it's a withdrawal, a retreat, a moving on. Abandoning something, but it's like with sadness and no regret. So there's sadness, but there's this element of knowing, you know what, it's the right thing kind of thing. You know, it's definitely the right thing, knowing that. And we have the King of Wands in the upright. So this is just about you being very courageous right now, very bold, sort of very charming, first of all, because it's a fiery energy, very charming, but very energized and motivated to move forward in something. You just feel very empowered right now, Taurus. I'm just really... There's something that's deeply empowering you. So some of you might be meeting this energy. You could be meeting somebody who's very passionate, very driven, very courageous. You could be having that experience with your partner. But this could certainly be you because it's a court card. Court cards could always be our energy or somebody else's energy. And then we have the Nine of Coins in reverse, though, working here. Right, okay. Nine of Coins in reverse, this does indicate some sort of financial setback that you're needing to deal with right now. There could be some jealousy, envy here. There could be the potential to throw yourself a little too heavily into work. You know, like being a workaholic. So you might be the workaholic, your partner might be a workaholic. Remember, the energies can be vice versa, because when the energies are very enmeshed. But that's just like what I'm reading here for sure. But some sort of, if it has to do, because coins also does mean mental, physical, emotional connection. So this can be that there is this sort of feeling of disconnect, this idea of, which makes sense, because it does see that, I do see that you left something. So there's this idea of disconnect, mental, emotional, physical kind of disconnect from something. And then we have this working with the Eight of Wands energy. And the Eight of Wands is a very, very positive energy, guys. It really is. This is, news coming in that's really good, that incites a quick change and the need for quick action, almost like a frenetic kind of energy. And what happens here, though, in this energy is that whatever news comes in, it incites change that instills ultimately a very deep, solid foundation. So some news is going to be coming in that's really going to be making you feel very solid in something. So some sort of news coming in. So it's like maybe you left something behind. I mean, for some of you, this could be like, hey, you got the house. Hey, you got the job. Hey, you find a house, you find a job, or you've been trying to have a baby, you're pregnant, whatever. I just feel like there is some really good news coming in. Now, it may be connected, it may not be connected, as I do see a lot of you guys walking away from some sort of either mindset or person or situation that was no longer serving you. It just wasn't serving you anymore. And it's like the King of Wands, you're just very, very focused on the future and moving forward, because you're realizing that you were dealing with an energy that was not good, but some sort of good news is coming in. I really like this. Now we have the Sun reverse. Oh, you know what? I hadn't even seen that before, but we get the Sun reverse too. Still positive, just the not yet energy. That's it. Delay. That's it. Delayed gratification. It's still coming though. So this could be, again, for a whole host of reasons. Like, let's say it is a house. You have to close. There is a delay in that. You met somebody, but you really, just because of like the weirdness of the world right now, you might not be able to, jump into anything. There is something going on here for sure. Isn't that funny? I pulled 5 cards in this row. Well, I guess it was meant to be. So there's some sort of delay that you're dealing with, right, as the final outcome here. But it's only till the end of the month. We have the Knight of Coins. I like it. Very reliable energy. Very kind of persistent and patient and hardworking, whether if it has to do with work, if it has to do with a relationship. This is somebody, a very patient connection, somebody who's willing to work at the connection, somebody who's willing to hang in there with you and do what's necessary. Beautiful. This could have to do with the work. Be patient, hard work. This is going to end up paying off. Or this could be somebody that you're dealing with, them being very hardworking. So we get the Two of Coins energy. Okay. Two of Coins is about, first of all, multitasking. Second to that, having options, right? But there's some choices here. There are 2 choices. So there could be 2 choices between 2 connections in your life right now, Taurus, 2 job offers, 2 situations that, you have to decide. It could be some sort of family situation going on. But it is you needing to make a decision. Now, we are dealing with the Empress reverse energy, which I'm not surprised because we have the Sun reverse, right? So the Empress reverse, because the Empress upright indicates growth, right? So the Empress reverse can indicate some sort of inhibition to that growth. So it could be because of limited resources. It could be because of, you might be feeling very overly dependent on others right now, or somebody feeling overly dependent on you. For others of you, for some of you, it could be fertility issues where you're really wanting to start that, so the good news coming in for those of you in that space could be, somebody saying, I really want to have the baby that we've been talking about. And you might be experiencing some sort of fertility issues in the moment, right? I don't see this being permanent, right? The Empress, the fact that you got the Empress here just indicates issues with it happening on the timeline that you like, and it could be because you're dealing with some sort of imbalance as far as your health goes. For those of you in this space, I'm speaking very specifically about those of you who are trying to get pregnant right now. It means that there's some sort of imbalance having to do with your hormones, having to do with something internal that you need to go and get addressed. If this doesn't have to do with that, some of you may be dealing with an energy that's struggling with some sort of addiction. Any sort of imbalance. That could be alcohol, drugs, shopping, sex, food, You could be dealing with this. You could be dealing with an energy that's struggling with this. This could also be anxiety and depression that's going to unchecked and untreated. Again, anything that is imbalanced that will cause an issue in relationship. So that's why I don't like to just say like alcohol and drugs. There are so many other reasons why we would feel any sort of imbalance in relationship, right? But this could also be greed, by the way. I mean, somebody just being very greedy. But it is this idea of this almost, whatever the imbalance is, ends up inciting some sort of like obsession, some sort of, obviously it would have to be that, right, in order to create an imbalance in the relationship. So this is definitely going to need to be addressed here, the Devil energy. And I think it's interesting that I pulled 4 for these. I meant to pull 4 for these, but I pulled the extra 5th very like organically, not even realizing I was doing it. So pay attention to wherever you might be like hyper focusing right now. Let's look at your blocks. Your blocks right now, we have Judgment energy. So the Judgment energy is about clarity, right? So you're being challenged to feel clear on something, right? You're feeling blocked, right, by this need to make a final decision, or somebody else making a final decision and you having a hard time understanding that, right? We have this working with the Queen of Wands in the reverse. So this is somebody who is very, very angry. Somebody who can be rather cold, rather apathetic, kind of aggressive. This could be you. This could be an energy that you're dealing with. You might be, and gender doesn't matter here, guys. They say queen, it doesn't matter. Somebody who you're identifying as being like really cold right now, kind of like not caring. Yeah. And then we have this working with the Princess of Wands. So the Princess of Wands is like a seriously immature energy. It's an immature energy. Then we have it working with but the thing is with the Wand energy, the Wand is always passion. And the Wand is always this desire to move forward, right? So, and it's this desire to create, and this urge to create, and this urge to have this new cycle. But because the princess is the youngin kind of the court, there can be this, rather, let me correct myself. It can be an immature energy, or it can be just a new cycle within a bigger energy, a new cycle within something. But it's a block that you're having. So it's a block to incite this new cycle. And we have the Six of Wands. Yeah. In reverse. So, this is this is about retreating. It's about giving up. This is about having a lack of confidence. And this is really serving to be a block for you. This lack of confidence is a block for you. As well, though, as is, this clarity. So you're having a hard time here feeling clear on something, feeling this movement forward. You're feeling blocked by that. But you very much want to feel this new phase, this new excitement, this new desire, this new passion to move forward. But I'm getting like you're not feeling really good about something within yourself, feeling very confident. There's something that you're not feeling very confident about. Now, for some of you, you might be struggling with the fact that the Six of Wands in reverse also means feeling very disrespected. So some of you might be feeling like, you were disrespectful to me and my feelings, and this is not something that I feel like I can move forward in. And you becoming very clear on that, and knowing that you want a new cycle, but you want it in a way where there's more respect, where there's more willingness to progress forward in an open and honest way. Yeah. So let's pull some energies for the person that you're dealing with right now. Let's use the Light Seers. So that was the Chakra Tarot. Then we'll use the Light Seer. Let's put 2 for each. So we have the Knight of Wands. This is a fun energy. This is lusty and free-spirited. Very creative, very motivated to move forward in something. This can be a little bit of a player energy. Those of you who are single and meeting somebody new, watch out. Or if you're, having a hard time trusting a partner, watch out. This could be you though, because it's a Knight energy, so it's a Court card. So this could be you feeling very focused and very motivated and passionate to move forward in something right now, feeling very creative in this energy, but you identifying that in somebody else, right? Because I stand corrected. This is the energy of somebody that you're dealing with. I kind of didn't want it to be that, but hey, let me just read the cards. We have the Hierophant reverse. Okay, this is somebody who has an issue with authority. Somebody who has an issue with following the rules, right? Because the Emperor upright is about convention, expectations, conforming to something. The Hierophant upright is about, it's one of the marriage cards, right? So in the reverse, it's somebody that wants to do them and be them on their own, in their own way. And they have issue with conforming to something. But you're also dealing with somebody who's very confused. So we have the Hangman energy is a Neptune energy, which rules the 12th house. And it is about trying to gain a new perspective. They are trying to gather some sort of wisdom by doing nothing right now. So Taurus, you might be dealing with an energy that's doing nothing. They're pressing this pause button. They're very confused. You might be dealing with somebody who has heavy Pisces in their chart as well. It doesn't really matter. The Hangman is that Neptune energy again, which is the ruler of the modern ruler of Pisces. But it's about somebody, you are dealing with somebody who's doing a lot of nothing right now. They might be struggling with a little bit of analysis paralysis. We have this Three of Cups reverse energy. Three of Cups reverse is about gossip. This could also indicate somebody who parties too much, somebody who just does not know how to be supportive. They just don't know how to be supportive. They're the Magician reverse. Listen. They are scattered everywhere. They are wasting resources. They might be wasting money. They could be doing some of these things, one of them or all of them, right? But there is this idea of this person just not understanding where they're sabotaging Taurus, because this is about, it's like they have this potential that needs to be fulfilled, and they're not fulfilling it because they're scattering themselves everywhere that's not important, right? They're just scattering themselves on all the wrong things. But then we have the Empress energy here working, right? It's working with the Empress energy. The Empress energy in the upright is all about fertility and creation, right? It really is. But it's about growth and expansion. But they're scattered. So that, it's like they might be just very focused on their money. They might be very focused on maybe all they want is to grow something. So they could be only focused on money. They might be only focused on, all I want to do is have a baby, and that's all I want to have, and that's it. Being overly focused on that. There is this idea of just being very scattered and overly focused on the wrong thing. Focused on growth and expanding, right? Because that is the Empress, right? She's the mother of the tarot. She's perpetually pregnant, and it's a Venus energy, and Venus rules money. It does rule love. It does rule self-esteem and self-worth. But because we have the Magician energy here, there's this scattered energy of this person that you're dealing with. It's just so hyper-focused either on money or hyper-focused on, I want to feel respected, and I want to be treated a certain way, and I want this, but they're so scattered and focused, they may not have complete clarity. Cross watchers, I'm sorry, this is what I'm getting. And I also get that this person is Temperance in reverse, which does indicate a disruptive energy. There's some element of chaos that surrounds this person. There just is. I mean, yeah. And there's this excess feeling of almost like being out of control. But the thing is, the temperance in the upright is about compromise. This is somebody who's not able to compromise. So this doesn't have to be in relationship, for goodness sake. This could be absolutely having to do with career, especially this one. You know, somebody who's like this is like the crazy boss who's like focused on money, or the crazy business partner who's, I don't mean crazy, that sounds very derogatory, I don't mean it to sound like that, but very scattered. They're sort of like, they're not focused on the things that they're supposed to be focused on. And then we have the Four of Wands energy in the reverse is the final outcome here, you know, and this is about, you know, arguments and moving on from something and leaving something. All right. So for some of you, this could be a moving out energy, somebody leaving, you know, leaving home, you know, having an argument, somebody in your home having an argument and somebody leaving, right? It could be that. It could be this leaving home, moving out kind of thing because of an argument. This could be having an argument and leaving a job. You know, something like that, okay? But the Four of Wands, this is the energy that you're dealing with. So this would be like them leaving, them quitting, them leaving the relationship, them moving out, them doing something like that. But the Four of Wands energy, more than if it has nothing to do with the moving out energy, the Four of Wands is a very strong foundational energy that we look at. You know, it really is, because it's Venus in Aries. And Aries is all about a fresh path and a new perspective. And having this in reverse does indicate that you're dealing with somebody who is just not able to have that fresh path in front of them, that clear perspective. They just can't see it. They're kind of like getting in their own way, you know, because they're not willing to compromise. But I don't even see them being willing to compromise with themselves. I definitely feel like this is an energy in a nutshell that gets in its own way, if that makes sense. Yeah. Again, that could have to do with any part of life. So let's throw some astrology dice, astrology cards, see what's coming out here for us. 8th house. Well, that makes sense. Sagittarius. Venus. Yeah, you know what? You guys are the second sign I did, and I love that I'm getting Venus and Sagittarius in the astro dice, because we have Venus entering Scorpio, so Venus is a star this month, and we have the Sun entering Sag. Yeah, and that 8th house energy, guys, the 8th house is a big energy. We got it with the 7th house as well. The 8th house is a big energy because it means many things, right? Scorpio is the landlord. The modern ruler is Pluto. And what it is our partner's money, but it's also how we show up as a we in relationship. So if it has to do with an intimate relationship, it has to do with how we blend our money with a partner, how we blend communication with a partner, what our intimacy is like. I don't mean the act of sex, that's 5th house. I mean intimate. That soul connection that you feel, right? Because the 8th house also does rule sex. Scorpio does rule sex. Doesn't have to have anything to do with that, okay? For those of you not even in relationship, this could have to do with how are you and your business partner connecting as far as shared resources, shared responsibilities, all of that. If it has nothing to do with that, the 8th house also rules the stock market, inheritance, insurance payouts, the settling of lawsuits. So it's big. That's going to be a thing this month for some of you, okay? Now, when we have Sagittarius, Sagittarius is the ruler of the 9th house. So we have a lot of synchronicity. We have 7th, 8th, 9th. So this is kind of the end of the chart where we're dealing with other people. Sagittarius has to do with belief system, your moral code, your moral compass. What is it that you believe? This also rules higher education, Taurus. This rules dealing with people from foreign land, foreign cultures, long distance travel for some of you, right? And we have it working with Venus. And we've been talking a lot about Venus. We know what Venus is now. Again, money, feeling really good about ourselves, focusing on love. But I feel like there's going to be this focus on a belief system within love and how you connect as a we energy. Wow. Okay. Will you look at this? We got 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th house. Wowie. So we already 7th house has to do with the house of partnerships. So this could be marriage partnerships, business partnerships, anyone where we have a shared soul connection. So this could even be a really good friend, really solid family member. It's relating though, right? And it's about having compassion and trying to find the equilibrium in something, okay, within a shared connection. North Node is destiny. Now, wherever the North Node energy is, guys, North Node happens to be in Gemini right now, the North Node of the moon. This is, and I love on here, it says soul school. Yeah, because it's all about what do you need to learn. And with the North Node in Gemini, what do we need to learn as far as, what do you need to learn as far as communicating? What do you need to learn as far as pragmatic learning, right? Because Gemini is the North Node. Gemini is that third house of the student. Right? So it really is about figuring out a way to process new communication, something that you need to learn that's new, either about yourself, about somebody that you're dealing with, or in the 3D, like actually learning something new. This could even have to do with how you communicate on social media, you know, but looking at all of this. And then we have the 6th house, which has to do, it says craft. The 6th house has to do with our day-to-day work environment, or day-to-day in general. It also has to do with our mental, physical, and emotional health, though, as well. So we have all of these things that are going to be addressed. Mental, physical, and emotional health. Looking at our work, we're going to be looking at our relationships, and we're going to be looking at, and I keep saying we, but you know, it's you guys, what it is that you need to learn, right? Absolutely. And I love that we got the North Node with the 6th house. Since the North Node is in Gemini in the 6th house, it's really going to be working on your skill set as well. Paying attention to your diet, your well-being. Very nice. Beautiful. We got you, Taurus, I have. Right? Because you guys are all about things we value, right? You guys are the landlord of the 2nd house of not only resources, but things we value, the roof over our head, the food that we put in our mouth. What do we have that we value? But we see lots of change going on here. We have Uranus. Uranus we call the genius, right? Because Uranus is very groundbreaking. This rules Aquarius, and Aquarius is... it's that 11th house energy of goals and wishes. So I see you guys as being very focused on your goals and your wishes, your money, kind of culminating everything together. I feel like this is a very holistic, sort of all-encompassing. There's a little bit of everything going on with you, Taurus, but isn't that the way life is anyway, right? But I see a lot of focus on relationship, a lot of focus on career, focus on the future, focus on releasing and letting go that which is no longer serving you. I tell you, this is like the biggest reading that I feel on an energetic level in a long time. I feel very clear about, there's a very like circular vibe about this for me. So I think you guys are going to be doing some really fabulous growing and growth right now. So good stuff. Thank you so much for joining me. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.